Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whenever you're watching us. This is day 2 of the Jarhead Jenny Challenge. Now, we got a couple of donations yesterday. On our first day, we're up to like $200, which is awesome. Our goal was $1,000, so we got 6 weeks to make it. Stop. We got 6 weeks to make it. So if you want to donate to the charity, it is gofundme.com/Jarhead Jenny Challenge, and I think there's hyphens or underscores between the words. I'm not sure, but if you just go to gofundme.com, search for Jarhead Jenny, it's going to pop right up. You'll see the picture of the young Marine recruits doing their running drills. Today, our workout is called Natalie, in honor of Staff Sergeant Natalie Show. She is in the U.S. Air Force Reserve. She is a family member that is our oldest son's fiance. They're getting married in January. So we'll do this in honor of her. Also, some of the exercise a little more like Air Force manageables you'll see with the run. So we honor her in many ways. We did get 2 people yesterday that donated up to the amount to be a title sponsor, i.e. we're going to do workouts in honor of them. I haven't sorted out the names and who we're honoring yet, so we'll get that going. For right now, we're still doing family members. We got a couple more that we can honor. Okay, so today we've got about a 30-minute workout here for you. Now, when you do the actual PFT, generally you'll do upper body first, then core, then cardio. We're kind of mixing it up a little bit. We got a few weeks, maybe we'll kind of reorient, but for right now we'll stick with core first. We'll demo these exercises for you, but the core portion is a 7-minute AMRAP. If you're not familiar with AMRAP, that stands for as many rounds as possible. So you have 7 minutes to do as many rounds of this 5 exercise cycle as you possibly can. We'll demonstrate each of those 5 exercises here in a moment. After that, we've got our cardio. The other day when we were running the inventory PFT, I realized there's something called the initial strength test at Marine Corps boot camp. So the initial strength test, you have to run 1.5 miles. And there are time standards for it. I understand some people doing the challenge, they're doing a walk. All good, don't worry about the time standards. If you are actually trying to simulate Marine Corps PT and you want to pass the PFT, the time standard is it's a 1.5 mile run or walk. The time standard is 13 minutes and 30 seconds for the men and 15 minutes for the women. So something to shoot for if you're looking to get faster and get in better shape. And then the upper body, which I'll demonstrate the pull-ups or whatever upper body exercise you choose to do. You may do pull-ups, you may do push-ups, or you may substitute a light bench press. So it's going to be a pyramid. You're going to do 1 rep of whatever exercise followed by 10 seconds of rest. So get yourself a nice running clock. 1 rep, 10 seconds of rest, 2 reps, 20 seconds, 3 and 30, and so on and so forth until you fail. And then you're just going to write down how many rounds you did. We'll do it again next week and try to do better. All right, so let's demo these exercises. Okay, so I'll demo a couple of different variations of burpees. Again, like we talked about pull-ups the other day, burpees is a pretty vigorous exercise. If you're not in great shape, you probably don't want to go like whole hog into full-on burpees. But kind of according to Hoyle, the official burpee is you're going to go from a standing position to flat on the ground in as efficient a move as possible. I'll show you a couple of different ways to do that. And then you're going to pop back up into like a squat position, and then you're supposed to jump, and you're supposed to get about a foot off of the ground. So kind of doing it a little bit slowly, a proper burpee is something like this. You're going to drop straight to the deck in as efficient a manner as possible. You're going to come back, pop into a squat position, kind of lost my balance there, and then from here you're going to jump straight up. You're supposed to get about a foot off the ground. So sometimes people will just reach for the sky. You can also clap at the top. There's a couple different things you can do up top, but the point is you get your whole body up and off of the ground. If you're used to doing burpees, that's the way to do them. They call those 0 count. Basically, it means you just go straight to the ground in one motion. If you can't quite master that and you're out of practice, you've never done burpees before, but you're physically capable of doing all the motions, you can do them kind of by the numbers, what in the Marine Corps we used to call bodybuilders. So you're going to drop down and you're going to do basically a squat thrust, You're going to get down onto the ground. You're going to push back up, come back into a squat, and then jump. So that last motion, it is important that you go from the squat position straight into the jump. That's sort of the final stress of the burpee motion. If you're lacking a little bit of upper body strength, a lot of the ladies in our exercise class used to do burpees, they would call it without the push-up. So essentially they're just doing a squat thrust and then a jump at the end. So you're gonna come down, hands on the deck, you're gonna come down into basically the push-up up position, and this is as far as you're gonna go. Bring your feet back in and jump. Beyond that, you can go even easier. If it's too stressful for you to come down into that squat thrust position, feel free to use a box or some other kind of elevated thing. Just come down with your hands on the box, kick your feet out, back in, and jump. And that is all the ways that I can think of to do a burpee. Okay, we got 4 more exercises on our core AMRAP. We've done the burpees, and now it's time to demonstrate an abdominal crunch. Quite a few different ways to do this one. Go ahead and pick your poison, whatever stress you like. So my wife is doing it here with her feet on the ground, and you're just gonna bring your torso up, and you can bring your legs up. The goal is to try and touch your elbows to your legs, not super necessary that you do that every time, especially once you get tired. But there you go. So bring the torso up, bring the legs up, and that's an abdominal crunch. You can also leave the legs on the ground. You try and keep your feet on the ground. Yeah, and then just bring your torso up as far as you can. Also a proper crunch. Okay? We don't do crunches anymore for the Marine Corps physical fitness test. That was a thing. There's really not a standard for it. So the next exercise in our AMRAP is a plank with a hand raise. So my wife's gonna take her plank position here. Let me scooch back a little bit. Takes a plank position here, and each rep is just gonna be raising that hand out in front of you. Try and maintain a good plank position. You can see there's gonna be some rotation of the body. That's fine, just as long as you're not breaking that plank position. Don't bring the butt up all the way up in the air. But you're gonna do 5 each arm. Next exercise is going to be called the leg lower. Now what you're gonna do for this is you're gonna bring your legs up in the air, and then you're gonna lower them down together as slowly as possible to about a few inches off of the ground. Okay, so the final exercise of our core progression is going to be a flutter kick. So we demonstrated this yesterday. We'll just do it again. Get your feet off the ground, legs straight as possible, and just go ahead and flutter. Workout program. So you're gonna set yourself, You're gonna set yourself a nice rolling clock there, and you're gonna do 1 rep, 10 seconds rest, 2 and 20, etc., etc. So there's 1 rep. We're gonna wait 10 seconds. It's kind of an inexact science. There's 2 at 20 seconds. So count up another 20 seconds and go. You can also do bench press for this. You can do push-ups for this. The progression works just as well. Whatever upper body exercise you want to do, just make sure you're stressing the muscle group that you're going to do on the fitness test. And there you go. That's Natalie.